So we headed down into that moor cellar, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Very inviting, wasn't it?
Well, there was a lot of dead folk.
I mean, it was nice to get away from what that man passed as decoration, but seriously.
Well, it's just had some strange taste, perhaps.
Some strange taste. Just. Were you raised in a forest?
Yes.
It shows.
Don't complain about where the trees grow.
So yes, 20 minutes to go down some steps. Claw marks the entire way. Terribly lit.
Well, we had that jaunty fellow. What was your invisible friend?
Oh, Bob, carrying the torch that the idiot who packed my pack decided, you know what? Do you know what I think a tiefling is going to need? Something to help them see in the dark.
Well, you can use torches for all sorts of things.
Yes, rat bait mostly, it seems.
Well, they didn't chew it quite down to matchsticks.
Well, at least it wasn't me they chewed.
Well,
Horrible things.
oh, not so bad, little ratties. Although they weren't terribly friendly.
No.
And then we found that hole in the wall, I seem to remember.
Seem to remember that there might perhaps have been a hole in a wall that led to, I don't know, a 40-foot chasm with talking crocodiles.
I can talk to them. Just because I can talk to them doesn't mean that, Look, I can talk to a lot of things. I have a way with animals, even if they are a little bit on the corrupted side.
Well, you don't seem to have a way with making crocodiles not climb walls. Undead as well.
Yeah, that was a strange one.
Yes. Was it the undead part, or the wall, or was that place just broken?
That place was wacky as heck. And then, of course, we had that whole thing with Litonk hitting me in the bloody shoulder with one of his darts.
Well, in his defence, we did let the blind man start throwing things.
He said he was a monk. He's supposed to be able to do things like that.
Oh, you're certainly not a monk. You did a great job of throwing it after.
Look, I never said I was good at throwing things. Well, they snapped at us for a bit, and then,
They nearly got to the top of the wall.
well, nothing we can't handle.
Yeah! So, stepping through the hole, each of you come to a kind of cliffside ledge overlooking a long chasm downwards. There's a waterfall running from above you. There's light distantly above you, but again, you can't quite tell where it leads to. And you do see at the bottom, in the large pool of water, numerous alligators.
Yeah, how far down are they?
They're pretty far down.
Okay.
You notice a couple things. One, the alligators do not seem to be swimming. They seem to be just kind of resting up against the wall. And two, there seems to be something underneath the water.
Hello, friends. Do you know anything about any sort of creatures of the night down here at all? I think they're like undead.
We are.
Lovely to meet you. So, they're undead.
Would you be so kind as to offer them an ultimatum? We get the item, we get safe passage, and they get the rats. Or, we get the item, they get no rats, and we kill them all.
I relay that to the bities.
Okay. The bities ponder that for a moment, and then they start climbing on the walls. The third one is going to rush and make it to the ledge, crowding you, and now it's Enough's turn.
Alright, so there's one at the top, and there's one within 10 feet of us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use Thunderwave again, self to 15 feet, and I can sculpt it to miss the other two.
Okay.
Enough's going to move to make sure that she's closest to the edge, and like the most likely to be attacked out of everyone, and need a Constitution save.
Yeah, they both failed. And in fact, the one 10 feet away, there's a critical fail, so he is going to take some extra damage. So go ahead and roll damage for me.
Can I heap damage on?
No, that's only used for the check.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it is a
Sorry,
check,
I
isn't it?
misunderstood.
Almost got away with it, because I would have let you do it.
So that's 8 damage and 15 foot pushback.
Alright. So you blast the gator off the platform, and the other gator just totally loses its grip, slaps the wall on the way down, trying to right itself. Both of them crash back into the pool. One gator resurfaces, the other just stays belly up. So the gators now are just gonna kind of hover there, like at the bottom of the pool, like snapping up angrily at you, but they're not gonna pursue.
Trees, have they reconsidered?
So now we finished kicking your asses. You gonna just clear off out the way so we can get that thing down there?
No. Go away.
No, you go away, or we're gonna fucking kill you. Right, death it is. Apparently, they are perfectly happy for us to kill them.
Well, as long as we're in agreement.
I'm not perfectly happy to kill them.
Not entirely sure they're alive in the truest sense.
I'm not entirely sure as to the worth of...
Shiny thing.
Okay.
Adventure, excitement, really wild things.
Not necessarily the solution to the problem, though.
Okay, shall we fuck off and find what we want? Have you got any suggestions?
I don't know. I mean, there's like 4 different ways we could have taken.
Okay. Do you want to pick another direction?
Yeah, I'd say go back to the last fork. We turned left, didn't we? We should make the right turn.
Proposal. I'd rather they be dead than me. Whatever's in that water, someone thought it was worth defending.
I mean, I've started, so I'll finish. Right, you keep chucking things, I'll keep tapping you with the guidance.
Take it you're not helping?
No, not helping.
Do you intend to hinder?
No.
Very well. So now it goes Jane, 2 crocodiles, me, another crocodile, yeah?
Have you used your guidance yet?
I have not. And all 3 of them are sort of together now, aren't they?
Yes.
So would they all be within the 10-foot radius of a stratosphere?
I will say yes.
And the 40-foot cliff puts them within the 60-foot range in which I can cast it?
Correct.
That's my plan for when it's... Whose turn is it?
I think it's mine.
It's Tree's.
I don't really have anything that I can use for this. Okay, I'm gonna just hold my action until they get closer, if they get closer.
Why does holding my action sound funny when you say it?
Because you watched too many Carry On films as a child?
Oh, God.
A what
But we're
film?
playing D&D, not tracking up fucking trauma. You don't know what a carry-on film is?
They're very British, to be fair.
Oh, you lucky, lucky boy.
Oh yes, well I'm going to hold my action, but I'm going to move on now.
Nick, just send the crocodile.
Send in the crocodile.
That's what they sound like now.
They're alligators.
I don't know, animal person.
Snappy things. Right. So what do?
So yeah, what is Tree's doing with her turn?
I'm going to hold my action
Okay.
because I don't have anything I can do from range.
The gators do not want to approach anymore, so they're gonna hold.
Oh,
their...
I tell you what I can do. I've still got that dagger or whatever it was stuck in my shoulder.
That.
I'll pop that up and lob that down.
Okay.
I have no proficiency with this.
We'll just roll, untrained.
Roll a straight d20.
Yeah, you'll take a penalty for it.
2.
Oh wow.
I've disposed of that dart.
Yeah. So, Trees, you kind of take it out of your shoulder and you look at Litonk. You try and give him a, like, I'll show you how it's done look. Sheepishly realize that he can't see said look. And then just decide to throw the dart anyways. It ricochets off the walls and just kind of clinks to the floor. The gators look at it for a second, then look back up at you.
Was that my dart?
Yes.
Well, you did give it to her.
You can always go down and get it if you want. I've got 50 feet of rope. I could just tie it around you and lower you down.
I've just got an image of it tied to one of his handles.
The gators are also going to pass their turn.
Okay. I am going to drop Shatter down to hit all of them.
Okay.
So, I'm going to use that guidance, so that gives me D4, doesn't it?
Yeah.
7 on the D20 and crit on the guidance.
I'll say that the sphere drops down there successfully. Do they have the will save or?
They get to take a Constitution save for half against 3d8.
Okay, roll for damage.
16.
Oof. A ball of light kind of descends slowly. The gator's eyes kind of lock on it as it surrounds them. They kind of back up. One of them takes a snap at it before the ball detonates, sending the 3 gators reeling into the walls, where they no longer move.
Is anyone still alive down there? Or undead or whatever? I'm not hearing much back. I think we've probably solved this alligator riddle.
So, who's getting wet?
I mean, not right now.
I'm just gonna, with a very sullen expression, take the rope off the side of Tree's pack and start tying it around my waist.
All right.
Okay, is there anything I can tie one into it as well as holding on myself?
The rocky face that you're on right now, you feel like you could grasp it around something.
Okay, so it's, 40 feet down, did we say?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to try and make an estimate so that it would be slightly less than that's dangling down, and then obviously sort of try and lower enough down.
I weigh 180. That's less than you, isn't it?
Yeah, I weigh 358, and for lifting and carrying and pulling things, I get to be a size class larger than normal because of my furbog status.
So I'm just going to go very steadily down that wall, and now I'm close enough to see. How deep's the water between me and the shiner?
It doesn't look deep.
Okay. I'm gonna dive for it.
Okay. You're gonna have to cut yourself off the rope.
I'll untie.
Untie.
Yeah. Detaching yourself from the rope, you dive into the water. Do you know how to swim?
I would assume so.
No, it's a specific check, and it's not a common skill.
I don't think it's a specific check in this version.
Oh, god damn it!
Well, there's...
Acrobatic or athletics?
Yeah.
Do you want me to do like a little roll before I land in the water or not?
No, just make a general strength check.
14.
Okay. Yeah, that's enough. You're not super familiar with swimming, but I'll say that as a noble household, you got to do it, from time to time, and do have a little bit of experience paddling around in the water. You descend into the depths and discover a trunk or a chest.
Can I lift it?
You're gonna have to check. Pretty big chest.
Does 7 say I can lift it?
No, it seems to be lodged firmly in the water.
You're right down there.
I'm just going to ignore her. Since I've got another 60 feet of rope of my own, I'm going to tie it to the chest, tie it to the original rope, and start climbing back up.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and do that. Trees, you feel enough climb her way back up, supporting her fairly easily. You don't know quite what she did all there. It's kind of hard to see.
So did I get to the top clean?
Yes.
What's up then?
I can't lift it. There was a chest in the bottom, and I can't do it.
No problem, I'm on it. And I start heaving.
Alright, you make a strength check.
Can I help?
You can.
A nice little group activity.
Oh,
Four.
Jesus. How do I not get an advantage?
So the one who couldn't lift it does the best at lifting it.
Well, I'm quite upset about this sudden feeling of not being the best at everything ever. It's not very nice.
So after enough heaving, the three of you pull at the rope.
Oh, we should have got Invisible Bob back. He'd have done it.
Doesn't have that much strength.
Neither do we.
Yeah, he has a strength of like 2. He basically has the strength of a child. It admittedly is not a great angle for you to be pulling it, but what?
Would you like us to grab it at a slightly firmer angle? Grasp it firmly and tug.
Okay. Even
See what comes up?
even still, god damn it! All the same, you do not make much headway.
I'm told I give quite good headway.
Fucking 1 plus 3.
I can offer guidance again to someone.
I have a slight suggestion. Can I do a perception check to see if it'd be safe to sit and rest here for a little bit?
Yeah, go for it.
Get our breath back before we start? 18.
Yeah,
Are we safe?
you gather that you'd be pretty safe here. You're in a pretty defensible location, and as far as you know, there's nothing above you that will come down.
Apart from the spray of water.
I propose we take a short rest and try that again.
Fair enough. I could do with a rest.
Okay. I'm going to take my jacket off and cast Fireball at a wall a few times and just chuck it there and leave it to steam out. If we're on a rest, does that mean that I can use a hit dice to get health back?
Yep. Each of you can.
Okay, so I get a 4 back. Okay, so I'm back to 19.
Yeah, okay. So I'm back to 22.
I only lost 1 HP.
You don't have to roll.
Don't think... Yeah.
And I think I have a special trick where I get some spell slots back. I can get 1 level 1 spell slot back.
That's correct. So yes, at the top of a chasm, having pulled a chest from a pool of water.
Well, we didn't actually get it, but are you saying that we did get it eventually?
Yeah, well, I mean, I figure you guys kept trying. And I'm not going to sit here and just have you guys roll until you succeed.
Fail. Short rest. Fail. Short rest.
So after long enough the three of you pulled up a ornate wooden box with lots of engravings and markings. It's very elaborately decorated. It seems to have been painted, actually, but the painting has long since faded. You can make out flecks and swirls of color and kind of off-putting shapes, but it's too faded to really discern. All you can tell is that at one point this was like green, blue, and like a silvery color.
Does it look like it can be opened?
It does look like it can be opened, but you're not sure how. There's a seam.
Can I roll investigation?
Yes.
See if I can work anything out from there. 22.
So after puzzling around a little bit, you find on the underside of the seam, there seems to be some kind of mechanism that responds to touch.
So a puzzle?
A little bit, yes.
I touch the mechanism.
It does nothing.
What would I roll to try and work it out?
You can do another investigation roll if you'd like to.
Just another investigation?
Yeah.
Okay. 9.
So fiddling with it, Trees kind of feels around on the mechanism. You can work out 4 dials, and
Okay.
each of them have markings on them.
Right. What's on them?
You can't tell.
Okay.
I'll say that to get a better look at it, you kind of turn the chest on its side and take a look at them, and they seem to be inscriptions. And let me need to. God damn it! Where's everybody's character sheet? Oh no. Have I lost everybody's character sheet?
I know.
What languages does everybody know?
Common, Infernal, Dwarven?
Common halfling.
Common, Elvish, Giant, Sylvan, Druidic, and Sylvan.
You said Sylvan twice.
Yes, because it's on my character sheet twice. Because I got it once as an extra language, and then I got it another because I took something else that just gave it to me. So I'm really good at Sylvan.
Okay, you should pick another language, which I guess we can do at a different time.
I'll take Orc.
Orc? Okay. Yeah, actually, looking at it, both Trees and Enough, you both are able to read it, but you recognize it as different languages. Enough you can read it in, you said Abyssal?
Infernal.
Well, it's Infernal. And also Sylvan.
Okay. Hey, some of this is written in Sylvan.
And Infernal? Mind if I take a look?
Sure, that's an odd combination.
You can't really discern anything else. You just know that some of the runes are in Infernal.
Are they runes for letters or words?
They're word runes.
Right. Do the words matter?
Yes.
Okay, so what are the words that I can read in Sylvan?
So you have 2 that you can read.
Right, so I've got 2 dials here that I can read all of. Wind, water, and light. And then I've got this one here, which is dark, peace, broken.
And mine are fire, sun, moon, and then sky, hole, earth.
Is that whole with a W or an H?
With a W.
Technically, they both have H's.
Was there any need?
You know what I mean. Fire, sun, moon, whole. What was the other one?
Sky, earth.
Sky. Okay.
What sequence are the dials in?
So there's one that Trees can read, which says the water, wind, water, and light. And then one that says, the one that Enough can read, which is fire, sun, and moon. Then dark, peace, and broken. Then whole, sky, and earth.
Thank you.
I'm really bad at puzzles.
And are they all sort of equidistant, or
They're evenly
does their
spaced apart.
arrangement make any difference? Okay.
Don't expect you to make me work for it, you know, Nick.
And what's it set to at the moment? Or is it sort of obvious that there is like a point setting or anything like that? Or-
I'll say that after pulling it up and trying to like just investigate it, you had moved the dials already to the point where you don't know what it was set to originally.
Right. Okay. Whatever that was, it didn't work.
Well, the good news is there's only 243 combinations.
Did Enough do that math, or did Becky do that math?
I'm going to say I'd probably
Um,
smash it before I try and brute force it that way.
Okay, I'm gonna give something a go. The only thing I can think of at the moment is try light, sun, dark, earth.
Okay, so after fiddling with the dials a little bit, Trees, you kind of yank at it, but the lid remains fully sealed.
Try light, moon, dark, earth.
Did you guys read that aloud? Like, how... I'm trying to figure out how
I'm gonna
Litonk
point
would have
them
done that.
to them as we read them out.
Okay.
No, in fact, I could
Um,
just be asking Trees to try it as...
No, that does not work either.
Does anyone remember how long it took us to walk this far?
Oh, great DM. How long have we been walking?
Oh, I didn't realize that was to me. Yeah, it took you not too long. You'd say probably like down the stairs took longer than you've been exploring. I'd say you've been exploring in these catacombs for about 20, 30 minutes.
And then a half-hour rest?
Yeah.
Or an hour rest? Is it for a short rest?
I believe it's an hour. And then just to get down the stairs took like 40 minutes.
Was that because of the rats, or were there just a lot of stairs?
You were traveling in the dark, so you were traveling slowly.
Alright, okay, yeah.
Do you think it worth taking to Lord William to see if he has any insights?
It sounds like a right pain in the bum.
Fair.
I'm sure we can work this out.
I was going to suggest exploring more of these catacombs to see if there's any similar connections we can make, clues.
How big is the chest, and can we carry it easily?
You managed to pull it up via the rope. It's not too heavy.
So I could just strap it to myself.
I'm trying to remember how tall you are, and I know that you're very tall.
I am 7 foot something.
Oh my god.
7'2".
And I'm 6'9".
Gee, both should really be able to carry this fairly easily.
Okay, I'll just use my my rope to sort of lash it across my back
Okay.
and happily carry it on. So which way do we want to head now?
So I'll say you guys go back through the hole in the wall. You find yourself back in this corridor. You came from the left, but you still have ways to go on the right as well.
For the sake of having said it, I definitely picked up my coat, my rope, and my torch.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want Bob back?
Probably a good idea, sure. Oh, that's the point. We've cast Bob twice as well, so that's been 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, you are following Bob, who travels fairly slowly as well.
So, sorry, jog my memory. We came to a left or right decision, and then we went left towards the water in the chasm, and then we found the hole in the wall.
Mhm.
So can we carry on the way we were heading before we reached the hole in the wall?
Yeah.
Right, okay. I'm going to suggest that.
Okay.
Fine with me.
Very well. And then, just as Bob materialises, I'm going to chuck him a torch. Let there be light.
Okay, so continuing down this path, you find a lot of the same as before. Just for a reminder, the catacombs that you're traveling they're, oh god, I can't think of another word other than dank, and I know how much you all love that word.
You don't trust us?
You don't know how long that hole has been there, but it seems like the damp has started to infect this area. There's a definite musk around. One thing you are noticing is that there seems to be a lot of cell walls, either broken, opened, or discarded. Trees, you recognize them as like paddocks for animals, typically used by humans.
Okay. In a catacomb.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can I roll investigation on the paddocks?
Yeah.
See if I can tell anything about them. 19.
Okay, so you gather that these have been in some pretty bad disrepair for a while. Although, again, you don't know metal all that well or stone, so you can't tell if they look like this for a good long while or if this is a more recent development.
Okay.
The standing paddocks, the ones that are still together, they don't look horribly managed. To you, as it pronounced Firbolg?
Furbolg.
Firbolg. As a Firbolg and a druid, you're not a huge fan of them, but there seems to be evidence that they were wide, long, and decently maintained. There seems to be patches of earth that have faded away, turned into like mud or just slurry.
And do I have any idea what kind of animals might have lived here?
The smallest ones you gather probably were things like chickens, bunnies.
Oh.
There are definitely big paddocks too, but you don't know what could have been in them.
Okay, but if I looked and saw, like, horse hooves, that's not what I'm seeing?
No.
Okay.
Out of character, I don't have any idea if keeping animals under castles is a thing that's normal, but I assume I would.
It would enough, no?
Yeah, she lives in one.
No, yeah, this is unusual.
Okay. What would I have to roll for you to tell me what she knows?
What is it that you're trying to figure out?
Why they're there, if they're not supposed to be.
That's not something that Enough would know. I can tell you, like, looking around, Enough would be confused. Like, animal collecting is not an unusual hobby for nobles. Storing it underground presents a lot of logistics problems. Like, obviously, you're keeping them and these animals in a place that they're not meant to be. But more to the point, like, they need space to run, move around, be in natural habitat, exposure to sunlight, which you're not sure how they lacked here.
How strange. If these were for food animals, then they'd be wasting in here, and most Lord's pet projects are kept on display. There's something disturbing about this. I think these were hidden for a reason.
Yeah, it's not right keeping animals down here.
It's sinister.
Should we move on then?
Gladly. Litonk?
Yeah.
Okay. You soon reach the end of the corridor. There's some larger cages here, but there's no bodies or anything. These cages appear to have been secure. You come across the most well-kept cages over here. Large steel bars on walls that are keeping everything well contained. There's doors, and they're securely locked, but it's almost as if whatever was in here was let out, and then the doors were relocked. If you'd all make a perception roll for me.
15.
4.
20.
Okay. Enough. There's nothing really that you glean from these. You just gather that maybe these were unused. Trees and Litonk, using your own kind of backgrounds, Trees, you can tell that there were creatures here.
Mm-hmm.
And Litonk, this is one of those places that, unlike the rest of the caverns, does not really smell. Almost like nothing has been here for a while, or this was a previously ventilated area. There's not even the smell of death over here.
Seems like there were creatures here.
Creatures?
Do I have any idea how long ago that would have been?
There's refuse, maybe old bones, but not from something that would have been kept here, more like food. So the way that they're decayed, you'd gather that it's been a very long while.
There's been animals here quite a long time ago, though.
Animals that shouldn't be in cages, that shouldn't be in a castle, that shouldn't be with a lord. That doesn't make sense.
I mean, the Lord doesn't make sense full stop, to be honest. Do you want to try the doors or something?
After you.
I'm going to give... So the doors are definitely... we poked them, we checked they're already locked?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any obvious manual locking mechanism?
Yeah, it's just a mechanical lock.
Just a standard mechanical lock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How big is that?
It's big enough that you can see its workings. You didn't even really need to go and poke around on it. It's got one of those visible deadbolts.
Okay. So if we've got a visible deadbolt, we can undo that from this side.
Mm-hmm.
I want to knock on the door with my staff first.
Okay.
Is there anything?
No, there's no reaction.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of reaction you're looking for, or from what.
I just wanted to know if something was going to respond to having its door knocked
No.
upon.
No.
I'm going to ready a poison spray cantrip.
Okay.
If something jumps, hold your breath.
Righto. I'm going to slide the bolt back and sort of open the door, or try and open the door and sort of slide out of the way so that that poison spray can go straight ahead. Should anything be there.
Okay. So with a clunk, the door slides open, and you are able to slip inside to find the visibly empty cell.
That's disappointing.
You have a strange idea of disappointment.
There could have been something in here. Anything. Can I roll perception? See if it's definitely empty of everything?
Yeah.
23.
Oh yeah, it's super empty.
It's empty as fuck. Okay, right then, should we press on? Doesn't look like there's anything in here.
Good idea.
I will say, Trees, that as you were looking around, your ears kind of perked up. You heard distant padding.
I think I can hear something.
Excellent. And enough's going to draw a staff?
With crayon. With a chalk, maybe.
It's coming from behind you.
Don't they always? I'll turn around and point everyone in that direction and sort of offer to turn Litonk in that direction. Coming from over there.
All right, so as you turn your lights back from the way you came, out of the gloom, 3 large, hungry-looking dogs appear.
Hello there, doggos.
Oh God, I need to remember that you can talk to animals, which...
That's true. Oh, well, actually, is their intelligence greater than 4?
Yes.
Then I can say hello, doggos, but they will not understand me.
You can only communicate with stupid creatures?
Most creatures aren't that intelligent.
Sure, the smarter creatures...
They're able to find food and look after each other, but...
hang on.
Some doggos are more intelligent.
Wait,
Right.
hang on. Sorry. I need to double check.
Have we got any of them rats left?
2.
Lovely.
Their intelligence is. You said it has to be lower than 3?
4 or less.
4. Okay, so it's 3.
Yay!
All right.
So should we do that whole
So
thing again?
So they did respond, "Hello, food."
Food. Yeah, we can probably get you some of that. How about some rats?
The lead dog kind of cocks his head to the side.
Trees, can you ask when the last time they had food was?
When was the last time you lot ate then?
Long time.
Like a couple of days? Couple of months?
Dog don't know what days, months are.
Sleeps?
Okay. How many sleeps?
Many sleeps.
Many sleeps. Oh, that's not too good. So, was that a yes on the rat?
What rat?
We got some rats. If you'd like some of them. In return, we'll just be on our way.
Want big foods.
I'm safe.
We're not gonna get on. Why am I not getting on with anything in these bloody
Because they're
catacombs?
all undead.
Why has it not dawned on them that they don't need to eat?
We can be nice. We can be very nice. Right, I guess it's, as they say, clobbering time.
All right. Everybody roll initiative for me.
15?
19.
11.
Okay. So the dog that Trees had been conversing with decides to stop trying to talk to the food and simply go for the food. And he goes for the talkative food. He bounds forward. There was a good distance between the two of you, about 30 feet, but this dog can clear that and then make a bite. Let's see. Wow. What kind of armor are you wearing?
Leather.
Leather. So I'm going to say that the dog jumps, and because of Tree's massive height, he gets right at the knee, right where the leather armor has a big, thick pad, and just kind of gets his teeth stuck. Trees, you can't even feel it.
Stop that, you silly bastard.
Litonk, it's your turn.
I am going to hit the dog that's gnawing on Tree's knee. Gnawing on Tree's knee?
Tree's knees.
It's the tree's knees.
13. I don't understand.
That is a hit.
Right.
Right.
How's your leg feeling?
Good, thanks. So that's a hit, and then we need
It
to
is
roll damage for it, which is
D4, and then the modifier. So
5.
okay, nice. So Litonk, you make a little leaping punch that Tree's knee is actually at like a pretty high level for you. So leaping up as high as you can, you bring your fist down on the dog's biting mouth and smack it right in the face. It whimpers and releases. I don't know why that's funny. And then it will be dog 2's turn, who will decide to go after the small snack.
So much for Pan's best friend.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So seeing the tiny monk punch the alpha dog in the face, he's going to go for you. And he's going to bite at you and deal a nice 1 damage. He nips at your tiny heel, learning from the mistake of the alpha. Now it will be Enough's turn.
So when it's your turn, can you only attack, or could I try an intimidation and then attack if it doesn't work, or can I just try an intimidation?
You can intimidate through speech, but if you were, depending on what else you wanted to do, if you were using like a spell to intimidate them, that would count as your action.
That's correct. Yeah, so you needed to kind of describe what you're looking to do.
Well, I was planning on using Thaumaturgy and taking a few strides towards them, ground shaking on each step, eyes flashing red, voice tripled.
Mm-hmm.
Run, cowards!
Okay, so make an intimidate check, and I will give you a bonus to it.
14.
Let's see. All right, so startled by your booming voice, 2 of the dogs beat a hasty retreat, including one that was biting at Litonk. But the one at Tree's feet, the alpha of the pack, is not so intimidated, although he is definitely hurting. It will be Tree's
Okay.
turn.
We've already beat this one up a bit. I was thinking about making it into a slave doggy, but I guess that's not going to work. Okay, I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Shillelagh, and then I'm going to attack it with my staff. So, it's a d20 plus 3 for the attack. 9.
No. The lead dog kind of on steady paws looks up at you as you conjure your magic staff and just sidesteps as you bring your magical weapon down on him.
Should I let go of my knee?
It's gonna take a bite at you now.
Rude.
I believe that's a hit.
It's versus 14.
Yes.
Okay, because your roll didn't show up.
Oh.
Are you still rolling
I am.
privately?
Yeah, apparently.
Can you stop rolling your privates, please?
3 damage.
This time it bites at your wrist, having
Oh,
you having brought your hands down, trying to smack it with your magical shillelagh. Litonk?
I hit the dog. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep punching them. Right. Slash. Space.
I don't think the space matters.
There's a button, you know.
I like
That's how I
typing.
roll it, so- Okay.
22.
Nice, yes. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Plus 3. 7.
Ooh, you crit.
Alright, so this time you go for an uppercut to the dog's neck, and Litonk, the mighty tiny monk, deals a powerful blow and smacks the dog in its windpipe, which causes it to choke, roll onto its back, and just lie still. And now combat is done.
yay.
I feel like there should be some kind of celebratory music that plays. Yes.
I was worried you two wouldn't get on. How's the rest?
Still works. Thanks. It's no worry. Right, shall we press on?
After me, I think.
After Bob, sure.
After Bob.
After Bob.
Yeah, Bob was just kind of standing around while all this was happening.
I have an image of him sort of circling like a little announcer.
One that can't say anything.
I never said he was a good announcer.
Just for his own entertainment.
Well, I suppose the life of an unseen servant must be pretty tedious. Hold this, walk there.
Die with one hit.
What's the weather like today?
So we've explored everything down here, down this path, have we? This little, what seems to be a farmstead.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So,
Does anyone see any merit in bringing a dog's head with us?
it seems a bit cruel. Do you need it as a spell component or something?
Yeah, but two of them already run like cowards.
Yeah,
I suppose it would work as an intimidation tactic.
offering them food hasn't worked so far. Maybe throwing a dog head at them and being like, look what happened to the last one. Might be a better tactic.
Has anyone got a knife? I mean, I've got one, but it's not big enough to cut off a dog's head.
I have a dagger and patience. Kind of got an image of just like plucking the dog's head on top of Litonk's pan so that it's a little bit taller. What?
I could just wear the dog head like on the pan.
So that's happening.
Nothing.
Okay. So do we trek back to the fork in the road and go the other way then?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Following Bob back, you can't find any evidence of the dogs. They seem to have beat a very hasty retreat. Turning back to the fork, you come back to where you first started and up to go down that right path. This path is more heavily lined on the walls with offerings. You see coffins, some decayed bodies. This side is much danker, and society has ruined this word. And heavier in the smell of death over on this side.
Heavier in the smell of dankness.
Yes.
I feel like we could make a drinking game of how many times we make Nick groan.
One for the listeners.
Before too long, you start to notice more and more fallen bodies. Just kind of corpses that have been pulled out of the wall or just shambled a little bit. There are definitely some corpses, some fresher corpses over here as well.
Can I have an investigate?
Yeah.
There. 7.
Yeah. They're dead bodies. Out of a mixture of nobility and respect. Enough doesn't really want to poke around at them too much. You do recognize that they seem to be just kind of young folk. Men and women that you gather were likely some adventurers who had answered the Lord's call prior to you. They do not look very well equipped or skilled.
Should we head off then?
I want to do an insight check on the bodies as well. I want to see if I can gain anything of how they've been, you said, pulled out of the wall and coffins and stuff. So if that was...
Okay.
Whether they've been looted or sort of...
Yeah, so more than a few of them definitely appear to have been searched. Make a roll for me.
17.
Nice. One in particular, you do actually find a small pouch on one of the more fresh adventurers who seems to have just been going through and collecting bits and trinkets. In the pouch, you find a collection of coins and some gold and rings.
Okay.
Like wedding bands or like nobility showing
Do
off?
you want to take a look?
Yeah, I showed trees and enough.
Okay.
Trees is not at all interested in the shiny things.
All right, then enough. You find more than a few of these are gold signet rings, bearing an ornate M, along with some inscriptions. It looks to be a house crest, with an inscription of a droplet, a flame, and 2 of the runes that you recognize from earlier on the chest.
Trees,
Aye?
despite your
Mm-hmm.
aversion, could you take a look at this, please?
Sure. So, do I recognise the 2 other symbols?
Yeah, they're the symbols. Fuck, that's gone.
The symbols for fucking? What would that be?
It's just 2 inappropriate little stick figures.
It's usually a mountain and a seashell, isn't it?
Or a taco, Nick?
So Trees actually... God damn it. Trees, you recognize the rune for broken on there.
Okay.
And actually, Enough would have recognized the one for hole.
Okay, so water, fire, broken hole. I've been there myself, to be honest.
Far too it for me to judge you.
So I will unhitch the chest and start panning about.
Okay, so on the last dial clicking into place, you hear a small hiss and a pop as the lid to the chest creaks open.
What's inside?
Inside, you find a small urn, a collection of paints. There seems to be a small spear of some kind, a sash, and a large amount of gold at the bottom.
Is there anything written on the urn?
On the urn?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Can I read it?
Yeah, it's in common. The urn is simply labeled Harvey Moore.
Is that the brother?
I can't remember who else we were looking at for the family.
There was the old Lord, wasn't there? And I can't remember, Lord S.
Lady.
Well, we
Lady.
spoke to William.
I don't know if that was Litonk or James.
I'd like to imagine it was Litonk.
Yeah, I knew what I was talking about. Yeah, there was the old Lord and Lady, and the brother. And I think Harvey was the brother.
Could be, I've forgotten that. I remember we spoke to William, but that's about it. If only someone had some way of listening back to the things we'd said and had done so recently.
I feel attacked.
I'm attacking myself as much as you dare.
You literally just hurt yourself in your confusion.
Sounds alright.
Well, how about, since we have half of what we came for, we trail back, have that wrist seen to, and have another word with Lord William.
I mean, I can sort the wrist out myself. You know, that's not really a problem. I'm just wondering if it's worth heading on down here. Is there... You know, we've come all this way. Might as well see if there's anything we can get down here.
I'm wondering why William cremated Harvey.
He was aware.
But they have catacombs. They have a massive dungeon to put dead people. Why was
Can I
Harvey...
pop open the ashes and have a look?
You want to open the ashes?
Yeah, I want to have a look.
Yeah, just go ahead and roll. It's a seamless urn. You're not.
Alright.
There's not an obvious way to open it.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to just chuck it at the floor. I thought it might just have a lid.
Ah.
I guess not then.
I want a look at one of those rats to make sure that they're still dead.
The rats that you've been carrying with
Mhm.
you? Oh, okay. Make a perception check then.
What? Oh, 7.
Yeah, they're dead.
Sorry, remind me again what was in the chest. So it was the urn, some gold.
Some pen and a sash.
And a spear.
What's on the sash?
The sash is the same kind of multicolored, strange material sort of looking thing that the castle was colored. But other than that, just nothing else of note on the sash, really.
Should we stick all this back in the chest? I'll pop it back on my back, and we'll have a little look around a bit more, and then maybe head back. You don't find anything exciting?
Very well. Do you want to share or leave the gold that Litonk found on the adventurers?
This gold wasn't earned. I have no interest in it.
I also have no interest in it.
Leave it there then.
Are you going to leave the rings, or are you going to keep the
I'm
rings?
going to hold on to one ring in case the family signet ring is necessary for anything. But on the way back out, I'm going to leave it where we found it.
On this corpse that was looting people?
In the pile.
Okay.
It seems like a difficult task to figure out who had which ring.
It would be, yeah.
It's a bit late to go Cinderella in these people.
Oh, God.
Is that what...
Whomsoever the ring fits.
Oh.
Oh, dear.
I thought there might be an old Cinderella that didn't know about where they went around dressing up corpses.
Probably.
I knew that there was a bit where the lady cuts off her foot, so
Yeah.
anything is possible.
Hang on, weren't you wanting to start writing children's books?
I have a children's book in mind.
Okay. Just don't ask
You
Jane
know
for help,
this.
I guess.
Why not? I could write a children's book.
The Brothers Grimm made a bunch of legendary
Cinderella
stories.
and the gross ring fingers, I think not.
Well, maybe not the gross ring fingers, but like they sawed their toes off to try and fit in the shoe,
Yeah. That's in the...
which was made of squirrel skin.
What?
It's not glass as in GLASS. It's glass as in GLAS, which is squirrel fur.
That's tight.
I mean, it is if it's not your shoe.
Although, like, who thought glass slippers was a good idea? Like, running in actual glass. It was a good idea. Or dancing.
It's magical.
Or anything. Oh, it's magical glass.
I don't know. My children's book is about a tiny hedgehog that's a police officer that keeps the peace in the forest, and she does things, and she's a detective. I just wanted to clarify that I did not come up with a horrible story.
She's not just a hedge pig, she's just a pig.
Aww.
I love how he just shared his little dream and you just that it.
She's got a hat.
Heck the police. Heck the police, no matter how spiny they are.
But hedge pig.
They protect private property. Are they there for the people?
Yeah, is there a point where someone goes pig and she just goes hog?
Maybe in the young adult version of the book.
She grows up with your children. So at first everyone's reading about the cute adventures of the police officer, and then it gets sort of seedier and more drug crime related as they get older. Anyway, should we play this game? So what do?
The Woodland Detective and the Cartel.
Finding bodies in the woods, yeah, nice.
Right, what would we do?
Right, we were walking away from a pile of gold. Let's do that.
I'm walking away.
This is going to be so fun to edit.
Isn't it? Chug. Where are we going?
Well, that's your choice. I'm not directing this train.
Well, like further in from where we came from.
Oh, so you're continuing on.
That was the proposal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now we've got a ring.
And a chest that we know how to open.
Further up, trees, you hear whining and...
Whining and dining, or just whining?
Like dogs whining.
Ah.
Not like a DM that's
And
had enough of our shit whining. Right, good to know.
As you get closer, you recognize the sounds as the dogs from earlier.
For context, do I have the severed dog's head on my pan?
That's what we worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I don't... How are you keeping that to your pan, by the way?
Well, I mean...
Just sort of suckered on by wet tension.
Crusty blood.
None of those are how that works.
I mean, how big was the dog?
Balance.
Yeah, he's a
It's
monk.
dog-sized.
Dog-sized. Is it a chihuahua or a
Is it Ember or a Chihuahua? Because the scale
Ember.
of dog. Oh no, why are you wearing Ember?
You could fit Ember's.
You could
Head
balance
on a-
Ember's head on a pan.
Her neck hole's probably big enough to, like, I don't know what the word is, stretch you
You
over
could
it?
stick it on one of the legs, I guess, of your pan.
Or, like, maybe stick it on the.
I imagine like a small cauldron, really.
Like, if it's got a single, like, handle, impale it on the handle.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right, so there is a dog on your head.
Right, okay. Blinding dogs in the distance.
Trees, are they still willing to talk to you?
Yeah, right, doggos. How do?
You hear them gasp, and then one says,
It's the big food. The big food is back. The big food is mad.
Okay.
I mean, I've been called worse than that, to be honest. So, what's going on down here then?
you see them turn towards something and say,
Light, big food is back. The big mean food is back, and it has alpha.
I'm gonna turn on the scarers again,
mm-hmm.
and I know that they won't be able to understand me, but I'm hoping Trees will just repeat the things. Quick question. Are you going to follow us like good little puppies, or are we going to let you join your alpha?
Said you can work for us, or she's gonna kill you.
So the dogs, they don't have anything to say to that. They're just kind of cowering. But out of the darkness, you see something kind of slink forward, a tap, like wood on stone, as something takes its steps towards you.
I guess we'd better do some credits then. I'm Becky Toothill, and I can be found as Curiosity Epidemic on Twitter, SoundCloud, and YouTube. And if you wanted to see the character sheets for anybody that we're playing as, then they can be found on curiosityepidemic.wordpress.com. James didn't want to record any credits, but you can have these two.
I am Jane Eris Magnet. I can be found on Twitter and YouTube as Maniac Janiac. I can be found on SoundCloud as Jane Eris Magnet, where I do a comedy podcast talking about various bits of interesting media and music and stuff, games we played, and lots of silly skits. That's Queer and Pleasant Strangers that I do with Laura Kate Dale. Also on stonemonkeyradio.blog, where I write reviews. And I can be found every Thursday UK time around 19:30 hours over on twitch.tv/Janiac, where I'll be playing something with the help of my Sexy Potato Squad, my wonderful streaming community.
Hi, this is Nick, the Dungeon Master for the game, and you can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and stream at the Nick Flair. And if you'd like to read some media analysis and self-reflections that I'm writing, you can follow my blog at storieswithnick.blog. Thanks for listening.